How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, and today is going to be another Jesse Talks Metal episode. This is episode 19, and this is going to be a bit of a response to Killbot&Attack's video on Is Wearing Your Own Band T-Shirt Tacky? I'm just going to call this episode Wearing Your Own Band's T-Shirt. To summarize basically what GorGorattack was talking about, GorGorattack. His name is not easy to say. Sorry, bud. Love the channel, but my God, that name. Anyway, to summarize what he was saying, he says it's just a shirt. Who cares what the band is wearing? He's in it for the music. However, he did go on to say that it is actually kind of a little weird and creepy if the person from the band is wearing merch that has their face or likeness on it, because there's two of them right there. But for the most part, he just says, just enjoy the damn music. And, generally speaking, I kind of agree with that, but I also did kind of want to throw in my own 5 cents, since they don't make pennies anymore, on that, and just kind of elaborate and talk about it myself, because I thought it was an interesting subject, and it has kind of come up a few times IRL. So let's get into this. The good sides and the bad sides at first, and then I'll go over my own general thoughts. And also, if you're going to shit on me for this Five Nights at Freddy's hat, mostly, you know, pizza is awesome, so, but if you're gonna shit on me about this hat, my kids love Five Nights at Freddy's, and if you don't support what your kids like or do, then you're an asshole parent. So I'm supporting what my kids like right here. So anyways, let's get into this topic. It's a topic. My God, I would love to speak and do one of these videos in focus, for one, and two, to actually not talk like I've got marbles in my mouth. If you've noticed, I've done that in a few videos. I don't know why. I'm pretty good at speaking, but sometimes this shit just comes out really weird. It's like you press the button on the record. You press the record button and you just go, Gah! Screen cap that and make that a meme for all you like. Yeah. So anyways, the good side of wearing your own band shirt is it promotes your band. Duh. And it kind of just shows, you know, team spirit. Go us for creating something cool, and it also shows awareness that you actually have merch for your band in general. So if people want to buy some, they'll be like, hey, you're wearing a shirt of you guys, do you have more? I like your band and I want to support it, here's money, give me that shirt. Preferably not the one you're wearing, because it's probably going to be smelly and sweaty after you just did a show, but I digress. And kind of a final point on the good side of things here, it also easily identifies you as part of the band that you are in, especially if you're in photo shots, or if you're in a video, or live footage, or what have you. Sort of exactly like Gorgor's video said, having the logo in the bass drum. Now let's go to the bad side. And this is kind of be where I'm kind of leaning towards too, for the most part, but it kind of looks like you're egotistical. It kind of looks like you're, you know, like, yeah, look at us. We're the best fucking band out there. I'm wearing our shit because only our shit matters. And it kind of looks like you're only supporting your band, which makes the other bands on the bill think you're kind of only giving a shit about yourself. And as well, if you're wearing, like, your whole band is wearing a merch shirt, that's less merch for you guys to sell. And if you're on the road, you need as much shit to sell to keep food in your bellies and to pay for the hotels on the trip around wherever you're going. So yeah, there's kind of that going on for it. But now my general thoughts on this is, when I was in my very first band, Kier, kind of like that punk rock band that I threw up a while ago on here, if you actually listen to it, cool. If not, whatever. But yeah, when I was in that band, we kind of made up band shirts. First, some kind of like painted on DIY ones of our band, like each member's name. So, you know, the drummer had frets on it, the bass player had 88 on it, and I had J3 because that was my stupid ass nickname back then. And yeah, and then we also eventually got kind of professional shirt, well, professional. The UPS store did like inked shirts that wasn't like ink, it was like laser printed on. I don't know what the fuck. But anyways, white shirts with our first DIY album cover on it. But then it had that whole like creepy part that our faces were, we were like actually standing, all three of us were standing together for the front cover. So it had like our images on it, plus we're wearing it. So it kind of did have that creep factor that Killbot was talking about, and looking back on it, it is kind of cringy. But at the same time, we were just starting out. We were young teenagers at the time. I think Brett was maybe 9 or 10 when he first started playing as our drummer. And yeah, so we didn't really know the difference. We didn't see the problem. We weren't thinking about, this is going to look tacky or bad or weird. We just liked the fact that we were in a band. We were celebrating the fact that, we had enough material to necessitate actually making merch for ourselves about. So we didn't really think about it at the time. We were just kind of stoked to be in a band. We're just celebrating the team, I guess. But yeah, when you kind of get older and you kind of start realizing other people are going to be involved in shows and you're going to be with other bands, you kind of going to go, I don't know if this is the greatest idea. But I guess it's fine to wear your own band merch, in my opinion, if you're doing like a house show and you're the only band playing, or if you're in a backyard, or if you're doing a DIY show somewhere, like a flash mob show where you just kind of quickly set up your stuff, play your songs, and get the fuck out of there again because it's illegal and you don't have a permit to play there, then yeah, it's cool to wear your own merch because you're the only band playing there and you need to promote yourself and show whatever. But personally, nowadays, I wouldn't wear my own band shirt if I was on a bill with other bands because, to me, it does kind of look like you're only promoting yourself. I feel like the other bands are looking at me like, what's this guy doing? Why does he think he's the best band out here? Why isn't he supporting the other bands? It kind of raises the negative questions, and as someone in the scene, you don't want to look like an egotistical douchebag, so I'm probably not going to do that for any shows that I'm on another bill with. Focus, please, Jesus Christ. But yeah, perhaps also another situation where you could get away with it, if this can get focused, that'd be fantastic, is like a battle of the bands situation where you actually are in a competition to win something. If you do get voted the best band in the competition, then yeah, sure, maybe wear your own merch so that people see you up there, they see your band name and get it stuck in their head, because humans learn through repetition and multiple images and just seeing things over and over again. So that might help you a bit and might not make you look so douchey because you do need your band to win. But in general, being in a band isn't a competition with other bands. For the most part, you're not trying to compete with other bands. You're not trying to win something. You're just trying to play to your audience and perform your songs and be there as part of the entertainment on the bill. I wrote a lot down for this. It's kind of more respectful, in my opinion, and other bands' opinions, because I'm also kind of like speaking from what I've heard around the local scene and talking to other band members and stuff like that of other bands. It's more respectful for bands to kind of support each other rather than themselves if you're not in a battle of the band scenario. I would personally feel more comfortable wearing my band merch while I'm kind of out and about. So if someone kind of goes, hey, that's a cool shirt, well, yeah, that's my band, check us out, give us some support, that's kind of fine. I don't feel bad about doing that. So if I was wearing a Savor the Flavor shirt outside somewhere, then I feel it wouldn't be looked down upon. You'd just be like, oh, that's a neat shirt, who is that? I'm like, hey, well, it's us. But generally, merch is mostly for the fans. Merch is for the people who support your band to purchase, to help you continue making the music that you make. And if you're wearing your stuff, once again, that's one less piece of merch that you're going to be able to sell to support your band, and it's also less merch for the fans to be able to collect. So generally speaking, it's kind of odd if you're doing it on stage with other bands. I've also, like I said, heard personally from other bands that it's kind of tacky, and the line, it's like you're sucking your own dick on stage, kind of also gets put into perspective as well, especially when other bands are saying this. So if you generally know that this is how the other bands in your scene feel about someone doing this, and you still do it, you're kind of admitting to being a self-centered dick. So, I mean, now that you know, or now that I know, I'm never wearing my band shirt on stage while there's other bands playing the bill. You know, like that's not happening. So yeah, it's generally frowned upon in the scene, as most bands try to support each other. Like the headlining band sometimes will wear the opening act's shirt to be like, yeah, the opening act is great. You know, support them. I mean, like we're already getting support from everyone else and our fans, but we really enjoy the other, you know, our peers on stage. And here we go. Here's, you know, the opening band's merch. Go check them out. And sort of like the way if you go to a lot of shows, the opening band or the in-between bands will be like, yeah, give it up for whoever's playing after us. You know, so if like some unknown black metal band is playing and they're headlining for Takei, or if they're headlining for Watain, or headlining for fucking, I don't know, Dark Funeral, they'll be like, yeah, give it up for Dark Funeral tonight. Who wants, you know, who's here to go see Dark Funeral? Yay, you know, whatever. It's just, it seems more inclusive that way, and it seems like you're less all about yourself. I mean, I've had band members in previous bands that were like super stoked and all about, you know, actually getting merch in and seeing, you know, our logo professionally printed on our shirts and stuff. So, you know, it was a natural attraction to wanting to wear it because you put your hard effort and jams and like maybe a show or two or whatever when you're first getting started, and you go, hey, this is our first piece of merch. I definitely want to wear it because it looks neat, and it's neat to have it finally, you know, be a thing. So, you know, I can understand the attraction to wanting to wear it, but my advice, from what I've heard and from what other bands have told me, don't wear your shit on stage while you're with other bands, because it is generally looked down upon. And in summary, it's mostly other bands and band members that kind of have an issue with it. It's not usually the fans that have a problem with this kind of thing. And it's generally acceptable off stage and in public, not on stage with other bands that are playing the bill. And ultimately, it depends on how you want to be perceived, now knowing this information. And it's easy to just find this out too. Like, go talk to, if you're in a band and you're just starting out, or maybe you've only played 1 or 2 shows, ask other bands that are on bills, or message one of their members private and be like, hey, what do you think of, you know, bands wearing their own shirts on stage? Get a feel for how your scene or your local, you know, circuit thinks about this kind of behavior, and just get a general consensus before you do something, if you give a shit, because that's basically what it is. It's like, you got to think, how do I feel about other people's perception of me and my band? Because if you're looked at like a dick and self-righteous and all about yourself, and you don't care about any other band, like if that's how you look to other bands, they're not going to want to do shows with you. They're not going to agree to be on bills with you. They're not going to go, hey, you guys are awesome, come tour with us and help get your name out. You know, like, it's a bit of a marketing ploy. You got to know how to properly market yourself, and a good way to get an idea of what's kind of, you know, accepted within the local circuit. Talk to other bands, talk to them, like, converse, because you're going to be sharing the stage with these dudes, and you got to know what's going to make you look like a dick or an idiot, and you got to know what's widely, you know, mostly accepted, so that you're not going to have problems finding gigs. You're not going to have problems, you know, getting on bills with other bands or promoters and stuff like that. So, like I said, if you're in a band and you have merch, probably shouldn't wear it on stage, because from what I've heard and how I feel about it, it's not the most supportive thing to do. It's just patting your own band on the back and saying that you only kind of give a shit about your band. I understand the kind of want to wear your own merch because it looks cool, or you're happy that you finally got some made up, because it costs fucking $300 or $500 to get those, you know, 50 or 60 shirts printed up, and you're like, man, if I spent that much money, I want to wear one of these, which is cool. Do it in public, walking around, doing your thing. Or if you're in a battle of the bands, probably fine there. But for the most part, it's just frowned upon. So anyways, that's all I have to say on this. That's kind of my 2 cents on it, and this kind of relaying what I've heard from other bands to you guys watching this. As fans, it doesn't matter so much. I don't think most people don't really think about that for the most part, unless it's brought up. But yeah, so anyone who's watching this, let me know how you feel about this topic. Let me know if you've ever thought about this before this kind of subject has popped up. Let me know if you see a lot of bands wearing their own merch. If you're in a band, let me know what you think of that. Does your scene support, new bands or whatever wearing their own merch on stage? Is that frowned upon in your scene? Do people have a problem with that? Let me know, because in my scene it's kind of frowned upon. But yeah, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, or if you kind of agree with the information that I've been hearing and how I feel about it. Thanks for watching. For Gory, for the Rebellion, Slammerella out.